This podcast is part of E2C Network, where we share the whole Auburn experience.
War Eagle Auburn fans, and welcome to Tiger Tracks, your source for Auburn track and field and cross-country news and discussion. I'm your host, Jessica Loomis, and I'm here with my wonderful, above and beyond, amazing co-host, Kyle, and we're going to discuss the Vanderbilt meet.
As I always think, you've got something up your sleeve if you start dropping superlatives.
To be fair, I had to add extra adjectives because Kyle helped me with my notes this week, and so that was just
all I did was hit the bold button
on every single
command bold.
Every single
so much effort
event. But also these notes take me a long time. So if y'all don't like the podcast, please don't tell me because it is very difficult to make all these notes. So
I don't like the podcast.
Kyle, you can kick rocks.
As I say, why am I even here? But that's the truth.
So all those great adjectives I said about you. So let's change those great adjectives to our wonderful competitors that competed in Vandy. So this
competitors that compete.
Exactly.
It's a little oxymoron.
This meet happened January 20th and 21st. But first, before we talk about all of that,
can I just point something out though, real quick?
You're going to talk about Big Brother, aren't
yes,
you?
Well,
I know. That's why I did it.
Tell them why you say "but" first.
Well, for any trashy reality TV fans like we are, Big Brother, Julie Chen.
Wait a minute, do not throw me in there. That's you.
You watch it with me.
I watch one show.
You watch every episode of that one show with me, though. So Julie Chen Moonves always goes, but first. It's like, first before we get to the action.
It's like when I pulled the notes up to start, getting ready for the show today, I looked at it and I said, I was left in on there on purpose. Anyway, tangent number one for the show.
But first, Ariana Sharp was named Women's SEC Freshman of the Week on January 17th after her performance in the 400-meter dash at the Clemson Invite. And just as a reminder, she won the 400-meter dash at the Clemson Invite in 53.01 seconds.
We're not unaccustomed to people getting SEC Performer of the Week in their respective event, but, it's not, I won't say it's never happened and doesn't happen a lot, but I just feel like we hear more about the upperclassmen. So it's really nice to see a freshman, brand new face. This is the time of new beginnings for this track and field program with a new head coach, all kinds of new people in the program. It's nice to see our freshman class already getting accolades.
And absolutely. I also love that they do freshman of the week. Like, not just, yes, they also have athlete of the week, but specifically freshman of the week, because this would be so new to a freshman competing on this level. And then as a freshman, beating all of the upperclassmen as well in this event. Like, that's a huge accolade, and she definitely deserves
and
this
that's
honor.
why you get it, because you're a freshman who beat everybody else.
Literally.
Might as well just go ahead and give her the complete one of the week. But she'll take what she can get at this point.
Oh, I think honestly, they're all the same level of wonderful.
Yes. At some point, they're going to probably have the sophomore of the week, junior of the week, senior of the week.
No, that would
fifth year senior of the week.
Oh, geez.
COVID 6
red
year
shirt freshman of the week. There would be so many things. You know what I am, Kyle?
Everybody gets an award.
Co-host of the week. That's me.
You would be the host.
Nah, we're both in this together. Co-hosts.
I don't know if I want to be in this. So.
Oh, wow. Why don't you start us off, Mr. Co-host, with some of the actual highlights from the meet? So just as a reminder for the people who didn't listen for the Clemson Invite, we do a little bit of highlights at the beginning to kind of just literally highlight the medal winners or any major PRs, and then we will go through all of the event.
Because we know it's a long list that we go
very
through,
long.
But we try to mix it up a little bit there before you go on tangents. But here is the main things that you want to take away from the Vanderbilt meet. Obviously, a name that should be very familiar to everybody for the past few seasons, and of course in his final season as a Tiger. Dontavius Hill won the men's high jump. He's come so close in the first two meets this year and finally pulls it off, wins the men's high jump, and tied his PR with a jump of 2.21 meters. He is tied for second best in Division I in that event. That is incredible. Already, indoor season, he's still got outdoor season to go. He's already knocking it down and taking names.
I love that he's already tied his PR, which tells me, he's high jumping 7'3". How tall was Shaq? That has to be taller than Shaq.
Shaq was 7'1".
This man could high jump over Shaq.
Whoa. Why are we screaming?
Because think about that. Think about how tall Shaquille O'Neal is.
You do know there were people taller than Shaquille O'Neal.
I don't care. I barely know any
Monte
basketball
Ball.
players.
Okay.
I only know Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, and Shaq. So I just knew that Shaq was over 7 feet. So that's my only point of reference for this tangent.
All right. With that being said, since we brought NBA into this, the men's distance medley relay team ran the second fastest time in the nation. And this is the first time we've talked about this event?
Yep, this is the first time we've had the DMR so far.
Excuse me?
Distance medley relay, the DMR.
I thought you cussed at me or something like that.
If I was going to cuss at you, I wouldn't do it that way.
Yeah.
But
just wait till the editing software's off, and then she'll do it. I'll just go cry in my corner.
I do not cuss. I am a Southern belle.
You are Southern.
Anyway, tangent number 5. So, yeah, this is our first distance medley relay that we've had, but I expect there will be quite a few this season.
Yeah.
So, next we had Kyle Brown earning a bronze medal in the men's weight throw. Then John Murray won the men's heptathlon.
Mm-hmm.
He also, through that, the heptathlon, he got a PR in the 1,000 meter with a time of 2 minutes, 56.45 seconds.
So for those of you that aren't doing math, that's 7 events. And I remember following him on day 1 of this, and he was in the lead to start with.
Let me just say, he was absolutely stinking killing it. I think like the first 4 events he placed first in. Like, it was ridiculous to watch this. So, yeah, he definitely deserved the win.
We got Grant Griffin, who won the men's shot put open event with a PR of 17.46 meters. So again, an open is like anybody can come to it.
Correct. Great job.
The invite is more of the, not to be mean, but the upper echelon. These are the people that are competing for the big stuff, you know, and that's what we traditionally talk about. But we want to note when these things happen.
That's why I care more about PRs than placements. Because a PR is always a PR. A place can vary no matter
and gold,
no matter
and
how
bronze.
many people are competing against you. A PR is always a PR.
We've talked about the individual stuff. Let's talk about the team stuff from this week. In the USTFCCCA.
Good job.
Goodness.
Can you say it a little faster?
USTFCCA.
Great.
Rankings for week 1. Your Auburn men's track and field team, folks, hold on to your seats. 6th overall.
Out of the whole nation. Think about how many teams that. It's like 164, 166 teams.
Yes.
And Auburn is ranked 6th. Kyle, in our time of doing this podcast.
I think we've been in the top 10 one time, but not this high, I don't think.
Right. Have we ever been top 6?
Don't think so. I think we got I want to say 8. The women did one year. But that, I could be mistaken.
I'll be very honest. Top 50 seems amazing. Out of that many teams, anything top 50 seems amazing. Top 25, even better. But freaking top 10, dude.
And that is really cool. We also want to recognize the women who found themselves in the top 25 at number 21 overall. So great starting place for indoor track and field, the first rankings of the USTFCCCA. I think I threw an extra C in there, but doesn't matter.
Really, really proud of you for knowing how to say all of that. So, why don't we go to all the rankings now?
All the rankings? You
all
want to go look at everybody else's rankings?
Results?
Basketball, gymnastics.
Sorry,
there are a lot of them.
I messed up. Jeez.
That's okay.
You can't just let me.
I forgive you.
You're not even going to edit that out. You're just going to leave it, aren't you?
Nope, staying in.
All the results. Starting with the women. Women's long jump, we had 2 competitors. Essence Thomas placing 5th out of 45 people competed in the women's long jump. She had her best jump of the season so far with 6.06 meters. We also had Megan Loneman competing, and she placed 43rd in 5.06 meters.
So I've been to a few track meets, not a lot, but I'm just imagining the time it takes in between the jumpers. And I'm sure this was done over a few days, or over the 2 days probably. No, just all in one day?
It would all be in one day.
All in one day? So to get 45 long jumpers in there, that's quite
Can you imagine? And the little guy whose job is to rake the sand? What a horrible job. I would absolutely hate that job. Like, somebody jumps, let me rake that little sand.
They get 2 jumps, right? Isn't that
3.
right? 3? So imagine, 45 times 3 essentially.
135?
Is that really the math?
Yeah.
Wow. Goodness gracious. All right.
Someone check me before I write me.
No, I'm going to go along with it.
Well, 45 times 2 is 90 plus 45 would be
That's enough math for one podcast.
Women's pole vault. Again, I'm so excited that we have a women's pole vaulter. So Lexi Lena Weber placing 3rd, getting a bronze medal out of 24 competitors with a vault of 3.80 meters.
Let's talk about them throws. We got the women's weight throw. Maddie Malone, 6th out of 9 competitors with a throw of 20.28 meters. We also got Mara Hewalt, 8th out of those 9, 20.66 meters for her throw. Danielle Gregory was in the open, and there were 28 competitors in that. She got 5th out of those 28 competitors with her best throw of the season, 18.78 meters. The shot put, Mara Hewalt again, 2nd, just a hair shy of that first place, but she's already done it once this season. 41 competitors total there. Her throw was 16.77 meters. Trendy Love also in the shot put, 24th out of those 41, 12.48 meters was her throw.
For the women's high jump, we had Allison Tanner competing in the open women's high jump. So she placed 5th out of 11 competitors with a jump of 1.62 meters. And then Kamaya Dindy placing 4th out of 9 in the invitational with a jump of 1.68 meters. So not very far apart from each other, but in two different, events.
Open and invite. Yep.
So then women's triple jump, which I think I've plugged this before, but if you've never seen the triple jump, go watch it. It is truly an athletic feat.
The coordination alone.
Absolutely. I mean, it is almost like I
just imagine Jessica trying to do this.
Dude.
And I just laugh.
I would land face first in the pit of sand.
Jessica would end up like the opposite direction she was supposed to be heading by doing
Probably
this.
with my pants falling down or my shoe coming off or something. Like the most embarrassing thing.
It's amazing that you were a track and field athlete with your lack of coordination.
I was not a track and field athlete. I was a track athlete. There was no field that I could do.
Either way.
Think about it. My coach was like, Jessica, you can't do anything else.
I love
Just
you,
stick
but the
to
fact
running.
that athlete and you goes together.
I know. So, women's triple jump. Amy Warren placed 9th out of 23 competitors with a jump of 12.66 meters, and Essence Thomas placed 13th with 12.25 meter jump.
Let's talk about some distance running, the women's 1 mile. So these are going to be some names that you're familiar with from our cross country team. Hallie Porterfield, 3rd overall out of 56 runners.
56.
56. The bronze medal for her in a time of 4 minutes, 51.4 second, her first time competing at this season. We also have Haley Marston, 26th overall, so in that top half of the group of 56, roughly. I'm trying to do math in my head. 5 minutes, 6.3 seconds, just a hair slower than her previous time in the last meet. The women's 400 meter, and again, we always apologize for mispronouncing people's names, so just everybody get ready. I apologize in advance. Abasiano Akpan, and I apologize again, but that I did my best. 4th overall out of 39 competitors in that 39 competitors in the 400 meter, 56.7 seconds run.
So here's how I know that these athletes have gotten faster over the years. Here's my mark.
Can't you just look at them?
Yes, but also so my dumb mark, like as I'm doing the notes, I'm like, oh, when I was in high school, I ran this time. I'm not going to say it because I don't want people to laugh.
Jessica, the reality is you were probably way faster than 99.9% people listening to this.
That's true.
So go ahead and say it.
So in high school, remember people, high school.
Just
I ran a 62. Okay. My goal was to get 60. I never had that. But listen, Kyle.
6 seconds off that.
That's major.
Okay, but you're talking about high school to college.
Listen, just listen to my story, man.
Okay, Linda, I'm listening. Sorry.
So previous years, I would have been middle of the pack in some of these events. Even like a 62 would have been middle of the pack. In this time, I would have been dead freaking last. Dead last. There was nobody.
High school, college athlete.
You're not listening to my story.
I am.
Men's weight throw. We're going to move on before Kyle gets thrown out the window.
Uh-oh.
Men's weight throw. We had 5 competitors. Kyle Brown placed 3rd out of the 35 competitors with a throw of 21.68 meters. Eric Ebel placed 4th right behind him with a throw of 20.74 meters, his best of the season. John Leonard placing 8th with his significant best of the season.
That's a huge improvement.
With a throw of 18.82 meters.
More than 3 meters more than what he did last time.
Kyle Moisen placing 9th in a throw of 18.6 meters. And Matthew Ruff placing 20th with a throw of 16.11 meters.
So you got 4 of our 5 weight throwers in the top 10.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's amazing. Especially when there are 35 competitors. I mean, that's a pretty big group. So for men's shot put, we had Matthew Ruff placing 6th out of 9 competitors with a throw of 17.02 meters. And Ethan Richter placing 8th in 16.55 meters.
One thing I want to point out now that we're done with, most of the throws, but the main throws that we normally think about. I think all the throws now at this point. Something I just noticed, our top throwers all had the last couple weeks, like they had really higher performances at the beginning and it kind of dropped off the last couple weeks. Not significantly, but it's some weird little trend that I noticed. There's probably no reason for it, no rhyme for it. It's just something I picked up on. But you see like Eric Ebel, John Leonard, all doing their best this time around. Just a funny little note that I saw when I kind of looked at them. Jessica's looking at me like, you're weird. Move on. All right, men's pole vault. James Corson, who we're very familiar with, 7th overall out of 12 competitors, 5.07 meters. We had Matthew Asplund, 8th overall in those 12 competitors, also with a 5.07 meters, which means he got it in one extra time, right? And that normally how it happens?
I believe so.
Usually if you're 7th and 8th and you had the same height of jump, that means you got it in one less time, or roughly. We'll see. Men's high jump, Dontavius Hill, we've already talked about him, but it bears repeating again. First, gold medal for him, 2.21 meters, and that best mark of the season for him. Matthew Kless, 3rd overall, so he gets the bronze out of the 14, 2.06 meters. And then TJ Funchess, 6th overall out of the 14 competitors, 2-meter jump for him. So everybody in that group in the top half on the high jump.
All right, for the men's 400, we had Luke Roberts, placing 13th out of 37 athletes with a time of 49.09 seconds. Then for the men's 800 meter, Davis Plowden placed 17th out of 52 competitors. Apparently every male showed up almost to do this event. He had a time of 1 minute 54.4 seconds. And then Reese Bell placed 33rd in 1 minute 58.2 seconds.
The men's 1,000 meter, a familiar name from cross country season, Evan Rogers, and just in general, the Rogers family. 4th out of 19, 2 minutes, 25.9 seconds. Just barely missing out on that podium, but getting that fourth place. So good start for him. This is the first time he's run that this season. And also Benson Atkins as well. I'm just messing all up today. 11th out of 19, 2 minutes, 39 point.
Nope. 2 minutes, 31.9 seconds.
Would you like to do the mile since clearly
yeah, I think maybe I should. There's a lot of names to talk about
I'm
here.
struggling. I'm going to just be over here taking a nap.
For the men's mile, we had Ryan Kinane placing 7th out of 58, even more athletes. His time was 4 minutes, 4.9 seconds. Cooper Atkins placing 8th, right behind him, 4 minutes, 4.9 seconds. There was like a 100th of a second difference, or maybe a 1,000th even. Louis O'Loughlin placing 9th, right behind them, 4 minutes, 5.1 seconds. And then Rex Green placing 44th in 4 minutes, 22.5 seconds.
You and I talk about this a lot during cross country season, the importance of having a running buddy or kind of to drive you, to push you forward. And you had all those guys together, 7th, 8th, and 9th within what?
Like 0.2 seconds.
All running together and finishing the top 10 together. That's really
amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. So for the men's 3,000 meter, we had Carson Beddix, another name very familiar to us from cross country, placing 6th out of 42 competitors with a time of 8 minutes, 22.4 seconds. Joseph Perry placing 18th in 8 minutes, 30.8 seconds. And Dustin Lewis placing 19th in 8 minutes, 31.2 seconds.
Now, we should have talked about this pre-show, but we're just going to do a little workshopping on air here. Should we go through every single event in the heptathlon or just talk about the highlights?
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this one first.
Because I'm struggling still?
Yeah,
okay.
You're just on the struggle bus, and also we didn't talk about this. So for our heptathlon, we had 4 athletes that competed, which is amazing. We've never had 4 athletes.
So that's 4 times 7, 28 events technically we could talk about.
Yes. So we have the notes if anybody is curious, but what we'll do is, like Kyle said, we're going to talk about the highlights. So we'll talk about John Murray first because he came in first. John Murray placed first out of 16.
Where the gold at, my friend?
Competitors. John had a total of 5,624 points. He earned 5 first place finishes in these events. He got first in the 60 meter, the long jump, shot put, high jump, and the 60 meter hurdles. He placed 5th in pole vault and 6th in the 1,000 meter, but where he got the 6th place, that's also his PR.
It's, if you're going to set a really high mark for yourself on the first day and set yourself up for success, you do what he did by just getting first in all those events. Goodness.
Absolutely. And then behind him was James Patrick getting 4th overall, which, so close to getting another medal. Just like, 4th is like that really, you just want to get that third place medal. But I'm so excited for him that he got fourth with 4,844 points. So James got fifth in the 60 meter, fifth in the long jump, 12th in shot put, 4th in high jump, 4th in the 60 meter hurdles, 9th in pole vault, and 7th in 1,000 meter. So Michael May was our next competitor. He got 6th overall, 4,668 points. He got 2nd in the 60 meter, 16th in long jump, 3rd in shot put, 9th in high jump, 2nd in 60 meter hurdles, 3rd in pole vault, and 5th in the 1,000 meter.
So he came very close to getting first place on a few of those things, but of
Yeah.
course, one of those places is what John Murray took.
Right,
So it's hard
right.
to beat your teammate who was just dominating.
Exactly. And then our final heptathlete was Takis Patikas.
That sounds great to me.
I'm sorry.
Again, we apologize.
7th place overall, like I said, 4,656 points. He got 8th in the 60 meter, 4th in the long jump, 8th in shot put, 12th in high jump, 12th in 60 meter hurdles, 8th in pole vault, and 4th in the 1,000 meter.
She's leaving me the last one here. I think I can handle this one. I think
you
I'm
can
done
too.
struggling. The men's distance medley. First place overall, we've already mentioned it, that 9-minute, 44.3 second run. Your competitors or your runners for us in that were Cooper Atkins, Luke Roberts, Louis O'Loughlin, and Ryan Kinane. Did we talk about Luke during cross-country season? Maybe he's a late addition to our distance team. I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but I have a really bad memory.
But very familiar names that we're used to in Cooper, Louie, and Ryan, especially
Yep.
Ryan, who kind of led the way cross-country wise. So
Absolutely.
that's a really strong group right there. I'll be interested to see if we run them again in maybe a different meet with different competitions, see how they do comparatively. So that's all the results.
That was a lot.
It was a lot.
The good news is for these athletes, they have a week off. So they've had 2 meets back to back, which doesn't seem
Well, technically, they're at the Texas Tech Open and things this week, isn't it? Or is it next week?
January 26th through 28th.
See, I'm still struggling on dates and all that kind of stuff. So there you go.
That is this week.
I'll just be. Oh, I was right.
That is this week. You're
I
right,
got
you're
it
right.
right. I got something right, folks.
Yeah, you're right. They don't have anything off.
Next week is the week off.
Yeah. I think Kyle
This is
told
my-
me,
after
to
I
be
sh-
fair, Kyle told me they had a week off. And so I just had that in my head. And then so I'm blaming you.
But I'm just saying, after I struggled for a minute there, that is my big win for the podcast. So I got the gold medal.
There you go. So Auburn is traveling to Lubbock, Texas. Is that how you say that?
Lubbock, Texas, yes.
Wow. What a Texas name. Lubbock.
Tommy Tuberville had a few words to say about Lubbock, Texas. But,
What were those?
it wasn't nothing derogatory. Just basically to compare it to the middle of nowhere in a desert.
That
It
sounds
is.
about
It
right.
really is.
So they will go for the Texas Tech Open and Multis on January 26th through 28th. So Thursday through Saturday. So that's quite an event.
Yeah, it will be, and I'm sure I was about to say it's very flat out there, but it's not really going to matter because they're indoor.
Correct. And it's track, not cross country, you ding dong. You still don't know anything different between track and cross country?
You know
after all
what?
this
Fine.
time?
I'm just going to go sit in the corner again, and you just wrap up the show.
Okay. Well, thank y'all for listening. War Eagle.
For you. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode on the E2C Network. On your way out, I want to remind you to stop by e2cnetwork.com. It's your one-stop shop for all our content across our podcast, YouTube channel, and much more. To stay up to date with us, make sure you're following social media accounts such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. While our content here may always be Auburn sports heavy, if it's orange and blue, it's what we do. War Eagle.